So Nike released a new running shoe called the Zoom Fly, and I wanted to give you guys my thoughts from a casual perspective on this shoe, and I wanted to compare it to two very popular models on the market, the Vapormax and the Ultra Boost. Find out how this one stacks up in this video. What is going on, guys? This is Hess from CollectiveKicks.com, and I wanted to bring you guys a detailed look and review of this pair of sneakers known as the Zoom Fly SP. This is a NikeLab version to the standard model that is out there and available, and I wanted to give you guys just my thoughts on this overall model, the overall cushioning of the shoe, and everything else in between. So hopefully you guys like this kind of pro and con video on the new Zoom Fly, and if you guys do like the video, you can show your support and leave a comment or give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you guys are newer to my channel. So a little bit of background about the Zoom Fly SP. It says that this is designed to meet the demands of your toughest tempo runs, long runs, and race day with a responsive construction that returns the pressure of each stride into energy returned for the next. This special take on the racer updates the lightweight supportive system with icons and sketches behind the historic Breaking 2 attempt to adorn the shoe. This has a powerful propulsive feel. It says a full-length carbon-infused nylon plate within the midsole feels like it propels you forward in every step, so you're that much closer to your goal. Lunarlon cushioning combines soft and firm foam, a balance of shock absorption, stability, and response without sacrificing comfort. A translucent stretch woven upper delivers lightweight breathability, while a soft microsuede arc band provides support and stability for your most challenging miles. It has reinforced rubber heel for lasting durability, offset of 10 mm, and weighs 8.75 ounces. So in this model, there's lots of hidden details on the shoe, and I'll cover some of those. The swoosh pinwheel, created in 1976 by Nike's first employee, Jeff Johnson, who fanned out the swooshes to make a sunburst design. The racetrack design references the speed and elegance of auto racing in Italy, where Breaking 2 took place in May 6, 2017. The finish checker icon references the flag present at the finish lines. You can see the digital clock graphic refers to the brave attempt to break the 2-hour marathon barrier and also nods to the original Nike Zoom Mayfly. And the interior tongue graphics project initiated was August in 2015. Alternate matte version, indicating that the second version of the translucent alternate material. Stretch woven, as it says, which is the material. EMB also because it is embroidered. And then summer 2017, which is the season of the shoe's release. So it's kind of like a sample tag, mock sample tag that they threw in there. And then on the inside here, it says fast. Indicates the shoe is part of Nike's fast running series. Innovation concept, Zoom Fly, and the design V7.2, which means it's the 7th iteration of the second material direction of the upper design. As you can see also, there's a Nike swoosh right here that is translucent, and then you could see that it has some embroidery around the shoe as well. And then it has this little widow's peak on the back end of the shoe right here. And they are extremely light. This is Nike Racing, not Nike Running anymore. And then you could see kind of the bottom of the shoe. These things are pretty crazy how it goes in and kind of divots inward. So let's get into some of the pros and cons to the model. We'll start off with the pros of the shoe. This shoe is extremely lightweight. It is 8.7 ounces. The Ultra Boost is actually 10.5 ounces, so it's much lighter than the Ultra Boost. And just for comparison, the Pegasus 34 is 10.4 ounces as well. So the Lunarlon foam is also just massive. It's a 33 mm stack. It's just ginormous, as you can see here. In comparison to like Adidas Boost, there's more Lunarlon than there is Boost. It's just a huge stack of Lunarlon, and it's very, very comfortable. The fit of these would be true to size. I went up a half a size to a size 10, and I should have got a 9.5. It would have fit me a lot better. The overall comfort of this shoe is really, really nice. I'd say an 8 or a 9 out of 10. It's that good. The comfort is really, really solid in the midsole. If I had to compare it to the Adidas Ultra Boost and the Vapormax, I would definitely say this is more comfortable than the Vapormax, personally, just because the Vapormax is very clunky feeling, as I mentioned in the review video of this shoe. It's a great shoe. I love this shoe, but it's just really, really clunky. And this one is a very, very smooth transition, and it does feel like you have a ton of cushioning. The Ultra Boost is really comfortable also, as you already know. But this is a lighter shoe, so if you like having a little bit of a lighter shoe, this is definitely a plus for the Zoom Fly. However, the Zoom Fly is not as comfortable as the Ultra Boost in my opinion. The Ultra Boost in itself is just like a pinnacle of comfort in my opinion. So I like this sole much, much better than the Lunarepic and the Lunarglides, because these things with these weird like little holes in the bottom, it just was very, very awkward to walk around in, and you get stuff stuck in the shoes all the time. So I don't know, these gills are not for me, and that is why I think that this is a superior sole, and it definitely is more comfortable, and you can feel the Lunarlon a lot more in the new model. If I had to compare this shoe to any shoe on the market, comfort-wise, I'd say it's close to this. It's the 9317s because of this crazy massive boat of boost. This kind of midsole is like the same thickness almost as that. So it really does feel like you have just maximum amount of cushioning on the shoe because of it. And I really do like the fact that it has it. The pro of this one though is it's much lighter than the 9317 from Adidas. So the traction is pretty good on this shoe. As you can see, it's reinforced on the front area and then also in little sections on the back. It says that it has a full-length carbon infused nylon plate in the midsole, and that it helps add to the springiness in the transition of the shoe. And I can't like really notice it or anything, but it does feel comfortable, and it does feel like a very smooth transition from heel to toe. The lockdown of the shoe is very nice as well. It's very comfortable. The tongue is a little bit odd because of the split sort of tongue and the placement of the tongue. But all in all, the comfort of the shoe is really, really good. So let's go ahead and get into some of the cons of the shoe. The very first thing that I have to mention is that it looks like it has Zoom X, but it doesn't. And I think that the marketing of what Nike's doing is extremely confusing to the consumers because the price point is $150. They talked about this breaking 2. They had 5 different silhouettes or 4 different silhouettes that all kind of looked very, very similar. And then they have only 2 models that have Zoom X. One of them is never releasing, and then the other one is releasing, and it was delayed to mid-July. Kind of frustrating when you wanted to get the Zoom X. So a lot of people were buying these thinking that they actually had Zoom X because it kind of has the widow's peak on the back. We don't even know what Zoom X looks like, and I think that that's the part that is extremely confusing. Also, the fact that this is called Zoom Fly, and is there zoom in here or not? I don't think that there's any zoom in this shoe. Zoom is a different technology than Lunarlon, obviously. I've covered both of them in detail on what is Lunarlon and what is Nike Zoom. If you guys want to check those videos, check the links in the description. But this, in my opinion, is Lunarlon. So why is this called the Zoom Fly? I just don't get that at all. And then why is it called Zoom X when it doesn't have any zoom in the shoe either? So I don't know what Nike's doing with the marketing on this stuff, and maybe it's just me being a consumer that's not supposed to be in that market. I really don't know, but it's just extremely confusing. And to that, it's really a big con because you don't know if you're getting something Zoom. If you're traditionally a Nike person and you're used to buying Zoom and you buy these and you're like, these are just Lunarlon. Like, why would I wanted Zoom because I like the responsiveness of Zoom. It's very, very confusing to the consumers, and they don't do a very good job explaining it. And that's my biggest beef with Nike in doing something like that. So moving on with the cons, you could see here, the creasing is terrible on this midsole. I like the overall comfort of this midsole and I like what it has to offer, but the overall creasing of the midsole is just really, really bad. Also, not just the midsole, and this could just be because this is a translucent pair. Check out the creasing of the upper. It's kind of ridiculous how like it's all creased up over here also. So that's also another con. I got the version from NikeLab that had this clear upper, and I wasn't really sure it was actually clear from the pictures. I couldn't really tell. But seeing them in hand, I was like, this is clear. It's very odd. A lot of people were wondering my opinion on the clear upper. Not a big fan of it, but at the end of the day, like it is what it is. I mean, it's a comfortable shoe, and I'll just make sure I wear really white socks when I rock these. But it is again, it's a comfortable shoe. It's just an odd choice of material for an upper. The other con that I have is this shark fin. It definitely is something that's going to get really, really dirty, and it's something that I've mentioned actually very similar to this pair of shoes right here, which is the 9317s from Adidas. That little back section here sticks out so far that it attracts extra dirt. Nike's doing the same thing with this one. Even though it arcs up, this part right here definitely is getting destroyed in my feet. So it's kind of unfortunate that the back section here just gets destroyed after a handful of wears. So, and you could see even here on the toe box area, even with the reinforcement from the embroidery, it kind of just wore through it already. It's definitely a shoe that if you wear these often, these are going to just be worn to the ground. It's not going to have a lot of longevity on your feet. If you're looking for a shoe that is very, very durable, this is not it. The Vapormax is definitely way more durable than this shoe, in my opinion. I've worn the Vapormax way more, and it doesn't look near as beat as this pair does right here. Another con is I think that they need more colorways. I like the fact that they did this whole breaking 2 thing, I guess. I mean, as somebody that's not a runner, I really don't care about it, but I like that they came with some sort of a theme, even if it wasn't explained very well. Ultimately, I think that they need to just release more colorways of the shoe and then get people kind of excited to check out the model. So another con about the shoe, I guess, if you had to nitpick, this internal cage is kind of interesting, how this thing kind of lays up against the side of the shoe. Also, the tongue definitely gets twisted around a little bit because it's so small and flimsy. I wish, like on the Vapormax, how they locked it down all the way to here. I wish they would have done something similar to that. I love the lockdown of the Vapormax. I think that this is just perfect because it's elastic as well as it's separate tongue and at the same time together. This one should be like locked down a little bit more, in my opinion, and then it would be much, much better. Price point is kind of a con as well at $150. The Pegasus is only $110, and the Pegasus is definitely one of those shoes that people go to other than this shoe usually. So I think at the price point, it's going to turn people away from this and go back down to the Pegasus still. Also, the Flyknit Lunarepics are only $140. So that is Flyknit upper, and it's $140 with Lunarlon. This is Lunarlon with the synthetic upper, and it's $150. That's pretty much my pros and cons of the shoe. Leave some comments. Let me know what you guys think about the Zoom Fly SP. Have you tried the shoe? Have you ran in the shoe? Is it a good shoe for you or not? Leave some comments and let me know. Excited to see your guys' feedback. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. In my opinion, this is a great shoe regardless. It's not very durable, but it is extremely, extremely comfortable. I wanted to get it in a different version, not in this SP NikeLab version, because I think that that's probably the reason why there's more cons on this, because of this crazy upper on here. I think on the regular version it will be much, much better and probably more durable than this pair right here. But again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and looking forward to the 4%. As soon as those drop, I will be copping a pair and rocking them so I can do a review video for you guys from the casual perspective. But thank you guys for watching. We will catch you guys for some more videos soon. Peace, guys.